The marquee has lights on it. Welcome to Wrigley Field. But they've had some great events here at night. You go way back to 1934. Jim Landis beat Strangler Lewis in the wrestling heavyweight championship, and there was some great fights. LaMotta and Satterfield in 46. Nova. 1943. And then there was an all-star game here. The Harlem Globetrotters and George Mikan All-Stars in 1954. And there are the Globetrotters. Abe Saperstein and company. They played here 30-some-odd years ago.
I saw that game. I was here. Goose put on quite a show at Dewey Stadium.
0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Ryne Sandberg followed by Mark Grace and then Andre Dawson.
I think that basketball game outdrew us too.
1-1. Chopper to third, a 1-hopper to Magadan, and that will take care of Ryne Sandberg. You can't talk about the city of Chicago and the Cubs without talking about Mr. Philip K. Wrigley. Interesting part of tonight's fanfare, fuss and feathers and pomp and circumstances, the fact that in 1941, Mr. Wrigley had the steel for the towers, and they were on flat cars, as we understand the story, just back at Wrigley Field. They were going to go up. And then World War II began, and he donated the steel to the war effort, and lights were pushed aside until tonight. Right. Mark Grace, single to center in the first inning, so the young first baseman has hit in 10 straight. They've also done some research on the Cubs. How accurate or how true, I don't know, but they published it here that from 1969 through 1984, they figured out that the Cubs lost 3 or 4 games at the end of the year that they might not have lost had they played some more night games. The percentage after the All-Star game and after September 1st, they worked the pattern all the way back to 1946. One of the things the Cub players say that will help them is if they come off a road trip where they have played a night game and then they travel home. Normally they would then have to play a day game the next day, but they now will have a chance to rest before taking the field, and that could be effective.
It is, having played here, the first 2 games at least, when you come off a road trip playing day games, it's a little tough because it's a whole different routine that you have.
And then you get into heat.
You get into heat, and then when you're used to the day games, you go on the road again.
0-2 to Mark Grace, and that's to the screen. Ball 1, 1-2. Grace will be followed by Andre Dawson. No score, bottom of the 4th inning.
Not only no score, no Cub has been to second base, and no one for either side has been to third.
You know, another thing I was interested in that I read in the paper, they start the games a couple of minutes after 7 o'clock, and there is no curfew on the game. However, the organist, as I read it anyway, the organist may not play after 10 o'clock.
Because of noise?
Yeah. That was the note that was in one of the papers. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Mark Grace. Got him, and he knew it. Good sneaky fastball on the outside corner, although Fernandez has only struck out 2.
It's a good fastball on the outside corner, and Grace is just caught looking. I mean, he hits it. This is a perfect pitch right there. You can see him. He made him give ground, and it's an easy strikeout.
So Mark Grace, head-shaking time in the Cub dugout. Once again, we remind our viewers we'll be selecting the NBC Miller Lite Player of the Game at the conclusion of the ballgame. It's no score, bottom of the 4th inning.
One of Fernandez's secrets is the first pitch. 9 of 12 first pitches have been strikes, so he starts ahead.
A breaking ball for a strike.
And he does look away, man, on that pitch. At least we had a good close-up. Right in the middle of the windup, he looks away from the hitter. And I tell you, that is just a little bit more than distracting.
Well, he's retired 9 in a row doing it since Mark Grace singled in the first inning.
Watch those eyes. Right there.
That's the equivalent, I guess, the East Coast equivalent of Fernando Valenzuela looking up into the bill of his cap.
And the batter wants to say, keep looking at me, don't look away, look at me.
Well, he picks him up right away.
But that split second, you're not sure, and that's enough to throw you off.
1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball for a strike. Fernandez very tough and hits per 9 innings. A little more than 6.5. In fact, if you had to rank the great pitchers, hits per 9 innings, he'd be there above Koufax or Gooden or Feller. However, Nolan Ryan is a little bit in front of him.
That was really a backdoor curveball. He started way outside, hoping Dawson would give up on. He did, and Runge called it a strike.
Dawson flied to right in the first inning. 1-2. Half swing, down he goes. Dawson can't believe it, but he's done. Third strikeout for Sid Fernandez. No score at the end of 4. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
I'm grateful that Michael Garcia is in our lives.
State Farm, Mike Garcia speaking.
We had a house fire, house burned.
That was a tough day.
They didn't treat us as a policy holder, they treated us as a neighbor, as a friend.
I gave him a check right away. We went from there to putting the pieces back together.
He's not a hero in the sense of a sports hero or a movie star. He's a quiet hero.
He looks out for everyone in the neighborhood.
It's gone from being a slogan to really being my way of life.
The Major League Baseball Clubhouse Store presents 99 Cy Young winner Pedro Martinez. Last year's hottest pitcher personally autographed this limited edition baseball from TriStar. This outstanding collectible comes with a certificate of authenticity and a clear holder. Call 877-292-GAME now and bring home this great ball for only 3 payments of $140. This is the perfect gift for any baseball fan, a must-have for avid collectors. Pedro Martinez, fast becoming one of baseball's most dominating pitchers. Don't miss out. Call now, 877-292-GAME.
On the next Chap One-on-One, the first African-American player in the American League, Larry Doby, on life in the Negro Leagues.
One of the good things about that Negro Leagues was the competition was real good.
The stars of the early days.
Who was the best pitcher you faced in those early years?
Sacho, no question, probably one of the best that ever played the game.
And winning the World Series in his second season.
You must have thought that was going to happen every year.
You're absolutely right.
Doby, Chap One-on-One, Wednesday at 5:30, only on ESPN Classic.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
This is ESPN Classic.
Well, we have 4 innings in the books, no score in the ball game. Interestingly enough, we have 7 strikeouts in the game in 4 innings. The first question is, are they seeing the ball well enough at home plate?
If it goes like this, I'll guarantee to say I just couldn't pick the ball up. And if you were the catcher, you would just keep encouraging that kind of thinking that you can't see that ball.
Well, we'll take a look at what happens now in the 5th inning. No score. Wally Backman followed by Sid Fernandez. And then Len Dykstra. Backman was caught looking in the 3rd inning. He became Bielecki's 4th strikeout. Backman 0 for 1. Two balls and no strikes the count. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Breeze has picked up a little bit, blowing from right to left out of the southeast. And that's in there. 2-1.
They really play Backman as if he were a right-handed batter. Law is short at 3rd base, but center fielder Webster's in left center field, giving them all the right field line. Look at that defense. He's got the whole right field line.
Now he's behind 3-1. Up to now, Bielecki has not walked anybody.
You know, you can't say that one pitch makes the game, but right here, a crucial pitch. Would you make him take?
With Backman and the pitcher hitting?
I would.
I would, yeah.
Oh, I'd have him taking 3-1. Make him go to 3-2. Take him deep as you can in the count.
Well, we'll see what Davey decides. Swing, line drive, down the line, base hit. Over to get it, the left-hand throwing Palmeiro. That makes it a little tougher. However, he makes a good throw.
I think that's the biggest change in baseball is the liberty that batters have now as opposed to the way it used to be. 3-1, 2-0 means nothing. Hit, slash.
And the other thing seems to me is to watch a leadoff man open up a ball game and hit the first pitch.
Well, if you're Ricky Henderson, you can understand that. But if the guy's trying for a base on balls, I agree.
Sid Fernandez has sacrificed 4 times this year. Now, he's a good hitter. He singled to right in the 3rd inning. We'll see if they put the bunt on to try and move Backman around. No score.
If he doesn't put the bunt on, I'm walking out. I'll tell you that right now. He's got a bunt.
Backman a very short lead. And he's showing bunt. In the air. Caught by Berryhill. Now, had Berryhill let that ball drop, the worst he would have had was to have Fernandez the base runner.
He would have had a double play because Fernandez turned into a spectator. He stood at home plate. The only thing he had to protect was against the spin, and it would have maybe spun foul. But I tell you, he was right there. I know, I immediately said drop. Look how much time he's got. Now, if he lets it drop right there, look at Fernandez. He's standing right there.
So, what about Vance Law, though? He should have said, hey, let it drop.
Well, I don't know. He could have, yes.
Yeah.
He could have. But, you think of those things when you got a slow runner coming up there.
So Fernandez got away cheaply enough. In other words, he made out. It could easily have been either he bunts into a double play or he's the runner with 1 out.
And now you got a hit and run combo up there with Backman at first and Dykstra in the batter's box.
Backman has stolen 5. Dykstra has flied to center and singled to center. And Lenny strikes out less than 10% and drives it to right. Dawson going back on the track at the ivy. Gone. Home run, Dykstra. His 4th of the year, and the Mets lead 2-0.
I tell you, he almost had to be thinking he's going to try to get ahead of me, thinking maybe it's hit and run play like we were talking up here, and I'm not going to let him, and he jumped on that fastball, and he really drilled it.
You know what they did here, and the crowd applauded? When the ball was caught by a spectator, the spectator, instead of treasuring the first home run in Wrigley Field history at night, threw it back on the field.
Can you recommend a good air filter? Fram, the only air filter with Triad fiber technology. Tiny orange fibers that hold dirt inside their microscopic channels. Take it, use it, live it.
The Fram Triad traps up to 48% more dirt than any leading competitor.
Okay, Pepsi One, with its breakthrough sweetener, may not taste exactly like regular cola.
Pepsi One. I gotta try that.
But it's close. Too good to be 1 calorie, but it is.
Give me 4 Fram Shore Grip oil filters.
No air filter?
Huh?
Hello? Check it with every oil change. Yours probably looks like this. Here, the Fram air filter.
The Fram Triad traps up to 48% more dirt than any leading competitor.
You're watching ESPN Classic.
The outfield is not playing that deep for Palmeiro, and we could have a play at the plate on the base hit. You see Dykstra very shallow in center field, and you know that McReynolds has a very accurate arm. Strawberry is strong arm.
Palmeiro's only hitting .250 with runners in scoring position, and he is so much the better hitter than that. And the count 0-2.
Because he got him set up for that fastball in the outside corner now, man, like he's been able to hit.
A lot of pressure on him. 0-2. Damon Berryhill on deck. Vance Law at second base. We're in the 5th inning, and it's 2-0 New York. It is 2 outs away from being an official game. 1-2.
He went for it.
Interesting that the Cubs have gone to lights. The only Cubs who have played better in day ball are Law, Dunston, and Sandberg. Everybody else has hit much better at night. 1-2. And he goes to left field, and going back is McReynolds, falls down, and the ball goes behind him. In comes Law. recent rains have given the Cubs a big break.
You remember Mitch Webster in center field had some problems, and McReynolds, he's going to make the play, but right there he loses his footing, and there's not much you can do but just scramble for that ball.
So the Cubs now, as we take one more look at a fly ball that McReynolds would have caught, instead it goes for a triple, and Chicago with the tying run 90 feet away, and Damon Berryhill at the plate.
And infield in.
The Mets have to play up. Fouled away off to the right, out of play. Berryhill with 17 RBIs, and if you're even thinking about it, he has sacrificed twice if you're thinking about squeezing.
And Zimmer is a fellow who likes to use the squeeze.
Mets 2, Cubs 1 here in the 5th inning. 0-1 to count. Fernandez has not walked a batter tonight. 1-1. We bring that up because if you are even thinking squeeze, the first thing you have to think of is, am I going to get a pitch around the plate? And he's been on the plate for the first 4 innings.
And they've got somebody already out of that dugout in Manny Trio. So Zimmer is showing his hand right now.
And Manny on deck to hit for Bielecki. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away, so that figures to remove the squeeze. 1-2.
Yeah, but the unpredictability of that, Vin, is that Manny Trio with the bases loaded, Zimmer put a hit and run play on with the bases loaded, and he had worked it 3 times before successfully. This time Trio missed the ball, and he looked pretty bad, but you just can't predict what Zimmer's going to do, which is a sign of a good manager.
Berryhill trying to pick up Palmeiro and get the Cubs even. We're in the 5th inning. 1 out. Breaking ball hit to shallow center. Dykstra's there, and I don't think Palmeiro will come. He just wants to draw a throw. And it was a great throw, cut off by Hernandez on the mound. So Berryhill can't do it. A fly ball to shallow center. Now Manny Trio will be batting for the starting pitcher, Mike Bielecki. So that's a big out, preventing the tying run from getting home. With the left-hander Frank DiPino in the bullpen, and the next inning it'll be Darryl Strawberry to lead it off. Here is Trio.
I'm sure one of the questions they'll ask on McReynolds' play when Palmeiro hit the ball, did he lose it in the lights or did he slip? I say right now he slipped. I don't think there's any question in my mind. The lights were not a factor, but you won't know until you ask him.
I think the only thing that fooled McReynolds, the fact that Palmeiro hit it over his head and he had to go back to get it.
But he looked like he was in control. I agree with you.
Right. All right, here's Trio now, the infield back. 0-1. Manny has 2 hits and 17 at-bats coming off the bench. It's another remarkable thing in the difference between the Mets and the Cubs, or the Mets and any other team in the National League. The Mets bench has been so productive. 0-2. For instance, the Cubs pinch hitters have driven in 11 runs. You know how many runs the Mets pinch hitters have knocked in? 26. And as you can see, the Cubs are really hurting in that department.
We're going to try to tape McReynolds going into the dugout, Vin, to see who he talks to, and maybe he'll give us some indication whether it was lights or wet grass.
And that's a high strike around the letters. 2-1.
Trio was one of the guys talking about night baseball. He said, hey, we play night baseball now when we start the games at 3 o'clock, just we don't have any lights.
Now, of course, that time late in that 3:05 game that used to terrify some hitters, that will be removed. They'll be able to turn the lights on. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Deuce is wild on Trio with Rafael Palmeiro the tying run at 3rd. Mets 2, Cubs 1. Bottom of the 5th inning. 2-2. Down the line comes Palmeiro. Enough to make Fernandez back off. Manny Trio, a veteran, has been in the big league since 1973. Ground foul. Trio played for the Cubs in 1975, 6, 7, and 8. Then he left and went to Philadelphia. Then spent some time in Cleveland, Montreal, San Francisco, and he's back with the Cubs for his third year.
It's been a long inning for Fernandez. That was the 18th pitch this inning. That's not like him.
And of course, in left field, alone with his thoughts, Kevin McReynolds. The inning would have been over the way it was played. Instead, a run in and the tying run at third.
That face still doesn't tell you anything, though.
Deuce is wild on Trio. Curveball got him looking. Just a little snake on the outside part of the plate. Strikeout number 4 for Sid Fernandez.